Why don't you build something of your own? Collaborate with people who are like-minded and build something where you all can benefit from it.
So I was like, yo, we strong together. Let's do it on our own. And we did.
Build it so good and so solid that those people that didn't want to invite you, they're talking about you behind the scenes in a positive way. We're back again with Teshorn Jackson for another episode on the Teshorn Jackson YouTube channel. We might call it the Teshorn Jackson podcast. We'll call it that just for now. And I want to talk about something that's been going around for some time now. Is a topic of diversity and inclusion. I know we've heard about it. We've seen conversations. We've seen everybody talking about it at least as early as like 2018, 2019. But I think the conversation was pushed further along in 2020. And we know what happened around the summer of 2020. I won't even have to mention it. I have never really went public with what I felt about the topic itself. Early in my career, I was all about diversity. I want to see people that look like me on platforms, on stages, just because it gives you an idea of what's available. I really felt that way. In fact, I built a community in the wedding photography space based on that. When there wasn't a space for Black wedding photographers to really show who they were or a platform for them to develop and grow and become educators, I built that space. Yeah, that was me. I did that. Before me, there was not a space for Black wedding photographers. You can fact check me on that. Fact check me. Think back, prior to summer of 2014, where was the space for Black wedding photographers? Where were they? It didn't exist. I had the forethought to think about something like that because I didn't see people that look like me in similar spaces. Over some time, I won't have a change of heart, but I had a different perspective. There is value in diversity. There's value in being included on platforms, on stages, and so forth. I get that. But I'm not going to fight my way to be in spaces where I wasn't genuinely invited. Why am I going to make a big fuss on social media because they didn't invite a Black man or Black woman? Like, why fight about it? If they don't want to invite you, don't be bothered by that. They don't want to bring you over here to speak. Okay, that's their loss. The people that attend their events, that's their loss. Why don't you build something of your own? Collaborate with people who are like-minded and build something where you all can benefit from it.
So I was like, yo, we strong together. Let's do it on our own. And we did.
Build it so good and so solid that those people that didn't want to invite you, they're talking about you behind the scenes in a positive way. Like, yo, you heard about this person over here? Teshorn Jackson, man. They got some stuff over there. You see people attending? I didn't think that was possible. They applied to speak at our conference. They applied to speak here and there. And we said no to them because, we don't know them, They're people, no one comes that looks like them. But now, everyone of all race, gender, culture, they're supporting them. Have your platform so nice that they have nothing but good things to say about you. Why fight to be invited to a house when you can collaborate with your own contractors, collaborate with your own painters, collaborate with your people who can make foundation, your masons, collaborate with your electricians, your plumbers. You get what I'm saying? Because then when you collaborate together, you can build something sustainable. Again, early in my career, I was the guy who wanted to fight for the rights of Black wedding photographers. Because the truth be told, a lot of non-Black wedding photographers, they weren't saying anything that special anyway. And that's not for all of them, but a lot of them weren't saying anything. They were saying stuff that was hella basic, and those that were watching just didn't know any different. Here's something I thought about. Let's say there's a wedding planner in your city, and they're using the same people that look like them for every single thing. And now you realize, you know what? The work that they're getting or the service they're getting, it's okay. It works. Nobody died, but a lot can be done different and better. And the term better is usually relative, but there are a lot of cases where visually we know that is not exceptional. You remember this phone? This is what is this? This is a Palm Pilot, a Palm Trio. I think it's a 650 from Sprint, when Sprint was in business. This is from back in 2010, 6.7, I believe, 6.7.8, 6.7. And it's touchscreen. It has a keypad on it. You can touch the buttons. It works. The internet was rather slow, but it worked. But guess what? That's all we knew at the time in terms of technology. And oftentimes, this is what people in a position to provide value to their clients, they're giving them this. This is what they're getting. This is what they're giving them. This. Not knowing that these iPhones, even the Samsung, what do they call them? Samsung's phones, they're available. What are Samsung's called? They're called, Samsung something. I forgot. But my point is, they're giving them this, which is fine. It works, but they don't know that better is available. And that better can be you. But again, that's their loss. Build your name and reputation so well that they have to come to you or their clients come to you. But here's what I've come to understand though. Even though you can do that, there have been many times when a potential, let's say a bride and groom or couple in general, they see the work you've done. They want to experience you. They've read the reviews. They've heard good things about you. But the person that's making the recommendation, they're like, no, let's stick to people we've tried and tested. Now, as a planner, not me, if you're watching this in your planner, think about that for a minute. You're giving your clients this, and this is currently available. Are you telling me that you're going to block your clients from getting and experiencing something high value just because you're uncomfortable with working with another person that doesn't look like you? How do I know that happens? I know a lot of things that go on in this industry. I know a lot that goes on here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And this happens more than people are willing to acknowledge. People usually come and tell me some things and I kind of just keep it parked in the back of my mind and I pull it up when I need it. But there have been many times when planners have their clients reach out to them. Hey, I want to book this person for my photographer. And the planner will discourage them from booking that person. Oftentimes, the planner has no idea the amazing service that photographer or that baker or that florist provides. They stick to their the small little circle they work together, and no one's even growing. It's the same stuff every single weekend. Weekend is the same stuff every single time. It's like, are you even growing? Because that's the same way you did 2 weeks ago. Because guess what? The flowers that you're using, they're not really educating themselves. It's the same flowers. Here's the hydrangeas. Here's the roses. Here's the carnations. Here's the baby's breath. Here's the little lilies. Eucalyptus sleeves there. Like, the cake looks the same. There's no growth. There's no development. There's nobody pushing the envelope in terms of creativity. Why? Because it's safe. That's all they know. It's all it's safe. All the photos look the same because guess what? That's all they know. The photographers aren't out there getting trained to become better business people, better creatives. And that's why I say it's their loss. If they don't want to give you the work, build your own. Build your own and let them come knocking for you. Because guess what? At some point, they're going to have to come. And they might, in the Caribbean, we say, lap your tail like a dog. I mean, means the dog laps his tail when he wants something. He folds the tail down between his legs and he comes and try to rub upon you. How do I know that? How do I know? Because I've seen it for myself. It's happened. Not only to me, but to some friends of mine. So the story a friend of mine told me, before he blew up, he would reach out to planners and they showed him no love. And he'd ask them questions. They wouldn't respond. And now that he got hot, they're all in the DMs. They want to work with him. He's like, I don't have time for this now. He ignores them. So I had a situation happen to me late 2017, I believe. I think it's 2017. And I remember reaching out to this person before. I went to network with them and they're very dismissive. Like, they made me feel as if I wasn't worthy. And I said, that's fine. Again, I'm not fighting it. If I reach out to you and you dismiss me, I have nothing really to say to you after that, because how you treat me is important. How I treat you is important as well. And in 2019, that summer, they reached out because they had seen some stuff that I was doing and they asked me about, a destination wedding, because everybody knows I travel a lot for weddings. And they reached out wanting some tips on how can they get theirs. When I saw the message, I was like, say what? You reached out to me now? And I could have ignored them, but I don't like carrying chips on my shoulder. I try not to. I didn't ignore them. I gave them some basic information. I gave them stuff they could have found on the internet for themselves. But because they got tired of seeing me going places, and here's the thing, they would watch my stories. They would never comment. They would never like anything, but they follow and they watch. People are watching everything you're doing. Trust me, they are. Again, I tell you, it's important that you build your own. Get your own community together. Take your time. Be intentional. Just know that people that you want to work with, they're watching you. You might not realize it, but they're watching you. They're paying attention to everything that you're doing. And in their minds, they're waiting for the right opportunity. Here are a few benefits, I believe, of having diversity and inclusion. You get to experience something different. It's not always about better, but different. When you diversify and have inclusion in what you're doing, you get to be more aware of the industry that you service. You want to be a student of your craft. You have to know what's out there. Why keep offering basic service because that's all you've experienced? Get to know your industry, get to know your market. It makes zero sense to give your clients opportunities that are so basic, knowing that somebody else could offer them something more spectacular. Also, here's the thing when it comes to diversity and inclusion. Don't check the boxes just because the box is there to be checked. Do things because you genuinely want to do it. Don't service a certain clientele just because you have to check a box. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. There's nothing worse than showing up to a wedding knowing you don't want to be there. That's a disservice to your client. It's a disservice to their families. It's a disservice to the clients. It's a disservice to the vendors that are also there. If you want to service one type of clientele, service them. Riches is in the niches. Hopefully you can get rich doing that. But guess what? It makes sense to be a student of your craft, bring in those people around you who can help you grow and thrive. If you're only using the same people for every single thing, there's going to be limitations there. If you're a photographer and you only use the same second shooter for everything, you might be limiting yourself. See who else is out there. Who can you collab with? Because the goal is to become better, not just business people, but people in general. We're usually influenced by the people we associate with. While it's cool to have a very small circle of like-minded people, sometimes you got to go out that circle a little bit. Find other people who can challenge you and push you to become better. That's all I can encourage you to do. Because when you become better, others become better. And that's by choice. They have to choose to want to be better. But your positive influence can have an effect and an impact on their lives. And that trickles down to their families and their other friends and so forth. So I want to encourage you. If nobody wants to invite you to their party, their event, their wedding, their vendor list, say it's all good. Keep building. Build with those who genuinely care about you, want you to grow. Build with them and watch what happens. Them suckers don't come around. Hey, you have any availability for this date here? I have a client that's, I think it'd be a great fit for you. How you know it's a great fit? You didn't get to know me. Because people will come, they'll come around, with trying to, flatter you. And I know you can see through their BS, right? You can see through it. But don't dismiss them. Be gracious at all times. Know when to flex. Flex when you need to flex. All right, flex on them. But do know, don't be taken for granted. Don't be taken advantage of. And again, if they don't want to invite you, say you. But I'm just tired of the whole diversity thing. If you don't want to invite me, you're lost. Your client's lost. Your network's lost. Your audience lost. And that's a disgrace because you don't have a mind big enough to understand maybe we should all work together. We can get more done. Open up your network. Again, while this is fine, this is so much better to use. And one last thing I'll say, I just remember this. I heard somebody say this before. A planner said this. She's only going to refer people that fits her aesthetics. It's not about you. Even if the photographer aesthetic doesn't fit yours, it's not about you. It's not your wedding photos. If your client wants that aesthetics, that's who they should get. If the service is legit, the quality is there, refer them. It's not about your aesthetics. If you want to have your aesthetics, go get married again or go get married. Hire somebody to shoot what you want to shoot. But this is not about you. You hear me? It's not about you. But when they said that, I was like, you show we're selfish. You understand what I'm saying though? A planner is only going to refer someone that fits their aesthetics, as if their aesthetics is something beneficial to the clientele. No, if they can deliver a solid product and the client loves that product, that's who they should have, not what you want. It's not about you. If you want to be about you, get in a wedding dress. Go get a ball gown. Hire your own photographer. It's not about you. I'm out of here.